Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I want to do a little quick update on all of our projects and what we have going on. So, unfortunately, the first update is a sad one. Well, there's a couple sad updates. So, the first one is more, I did not realize round 5 in the final round of North versus South series is this Saturday. So, I do not want to interrupt that by running my old cars and making some people butt hurt. So I haven't raced that series. I'm not going to do anything in that series, obviously. And with the last round, I don't feel it'd be fair if I'd go there and, steal points from somebody that's really trying and has made, the effort to go race both series races in Fort Collins and more. So, and then the other thing is I got an update from A-Main, and it doesn't sound like our servo and stuff's going to be here till maybe Friday now for our 91 works, even though that thing's almost completely done, and that's really all I need there. But with the spare time this weekend, that'll allow me to get a couple things done. So the first thing is we did get our transponder in here. I changed the shock mount location. We obviously changed the wing to a Yokomo wing mount. I think that's a lot better than the tubes. And then my daughter helped me paint a body and put decals on it. So she wanted to help with that. So we had a little daddy-daughter project. And I think it turned out all right. The other thing is I want my paint schemes to be similar but recognizable. So as you guys are tuning into more or anything like that, you can obviously spot what cars are mine and what cars aren't. And I also think the other thing is with the color differentiation, you can tell which one's my fan graphite versus which one's my 91 Worlds. We'll maybe do a little bit different color scheme for our our sad looking wide arm pan car that's over there just desperately waiting on parts to come from Go Fast Hobbies and Hobby Action. I actually have 2 orders at Go Fast, and I have 1 order at Hobby Action coming. So the other good news is our Schumacher Cougar comes on Thursday. So with the time this weekend, since it's North versus South series race, we'll get the Cougar together. So I think we can almost get all of these cars together. I did order another rocket, so that's coming, as well as some other parts to start getting the electronics in those cars. Like I said, my main goal is hopefully to get the 91 works done. That's the priority. Get that done. The silver tub long arm, I don't think I'll have done by this weekend, but I'll have quite a bit of it done. And then I think my main effort is going to try to pour a lot of time in the Schumacher Cougar 2 works that we're going to race. I don't know what we're going to do as far as some upgrades and stuff on that. I haven't seen much out there on it, and I haven't looked at it too much. But once I get it in my hands, I'll figure something out. And then I think the other thing we're going to do, guys, is there's a vintage race. Moore's doing a vintage race in March. And I actually talked to a couple guys about running these cars. So I'm going to try to run one of these cars, probably my fan graphite, because I do like that car, and that's a car I'm used to. I'm going to see if Brian Kraft will race this car. Brian Kraft is your current 21.5 Roar National Champion. And I talked to him about it, and he's like, cool, man. If it's got electronics and stuff, I was like, hell, dude, it'll have a battery in it. Like, all you got to do is link your radio to it. So I'm going to try to get him to run one. I'm going to try to get perhaps Ken Renals to maybe run the Schumacher or something, or the long arm. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to see if we can get 4 of our project cars running at the same time at the vintage race, and see if we can get them all qualified for the A-Main, even though it's going to be 4 different drivers. I think it'd be kind of cool rather than, and like I said, I'll still try to do a race individually with the cars for a fair comparison. But I think it would be cool to see all these cars out on track at the same time in a competitive race, no holds bar, and see what happens. Kendra and Brian are much better racers than I am. But sometimes I can hang on their coattails. if they're near the front of the A main, usually I'm in the rear. But like I said, with these old cars, maybe that'll level out the playing field. But I think it'd be cool to see all these cars at once. And I'm probably going to do it. And then, like I said, I'll race each car individually. But I thought that was kind of a cool idea. And I was kind of bouncing around that idea this weekend when I was talking to Brian Kraft when I was at Moore, because he's really interested in the vintage stuff and kind of like, oh, well. And I said, hey, would you race one if I prepped it all for you? Tires, everything. I'll even pay for the race fees. All you need to do is put your radio in it. They have transponders, all that stuff. So he was willing to do that. And I'm sure there'll be a couple other people, but I think that'd be cool to see these all out on track at the same time, fighting to see who can bring home the trophy. The cars are all prepped really well and prepped similar. Like I said, with all the similar electronics and stuff like that, I think that'd be pretty cool. And then, like I said, I will try to run them individually as well, but we're running down on time, so I want to make sure I can get everything I can in. And maybe at that race, I'll run a different car for comparison, and I'll let someone else run my Fan RC Graphite. Maybe I'll run the Tub, or I'll run the Cougar. We'll see, but let me know your thoughts below. And then, so our Worlds is all done. Wing, everything. Avid wing, of course, all mounted up, and we took our wing mounts off our 91. And then on our Tub, to update that car, what we're going to do is I am going to do the long front shocks just like this. The only difference on the Tub is I ordered, I want to say it was Competition Composites. I guess it's a super rare front carbon tower. It's almost like a 10T shock tower. And that's coming. I may have that tomorrow or fairly quick. So, but we're going to toss it on there and run it and see what we can get there. So I ordered, like I said, a bunch of parts off Go Fast and Hobby Action over the last couple days. I'm going to let that stuff cycle through and get here because I have a hard time keeping track of everything I ordered. So we're going to let that stuff get here and get cars finished. And like I said, this one's done. Transponders in it. I was breaking in the diff. My daughter helped me paint and decal the body up, figured out the wing. I am going to have to move these shocks back out there on the very inner mount, and I want them on the middle mount. So I got to get a smaller screw for the Yokomo wing mounts, which I was digging through and couldn't find any, but I'll find something here or there and get that figured out. So that's taken care of. Our 91 works. That'll get done probably. If the stuff arrives Friday, I'll work on a Friday night, get that thing all done, get slicks mounted up. I got an extra set of rims coming for that to mount some slicks to. And that thing will be done. And then, like I said, the Cougar 2 Works shows up on Thursday. So I'll start getting that assembled, and I'll start looking at what upgrade parts there are out there for it and start upgrading that. And the real thing I want to do with that is I was looking at Paul Upton's race over there in England at that vintage carpet race. And I was looking a lot at his setup, and it really reminded me a lot of his B5, or my B5. It had a servo, he had the battery, and then he had the speed controller receiver right in the back in front of the rear bulkhead. And that's something that I'm probably going to do. So I was looking at that close as far as just his chassis layout. I didn't see anything as far as upgrades too much. But I didn't really get that in depth. But I was more or less looking at his layout to see how I wanted to prep my car. So I'm going to kind of follow Paul Upton's layout and probably do that to our Cougar 2 Works, because my B5 performs great, and that's a very, I guess, similar electronics layout in there. The only thing is the battery's not transverse in my B5. It's longitudinal, so everything runs down like the center of the chassis. So that car's super thin. And on Paul's, it's servo, transverse battery, speed controller, receiver, transponder all on the back there. And then obviously the motor in the back. So we'll do some looking at that and get that in. But I'm kind of looking forward to getting into the Schumacher and spending some time on that. I already ordered, like I said, a battery. Well, I have a battery. I have a servo. I have a Surplus Rocket V6 coming in. So that'll be here tomorrow. And then I just got to grab the speed controller, and I should be able to have that this weekend. So I maybe, cross your fingers, be able to get that Cougar kind of up and running as well. this weekend if I have time, since Moore has North versus South race. And we may do some testing on Sunday. May take my son there with his DK10, and we may take some there too, just to test and see. So wanted to give everyone an update. That's where we're at. And we're going to keep pushing on. Look for some more great videos this week and weekend. And like I said, over the next couple weeks as well. And we'll get these things out on track for a little comparison. But again, like, comment, subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next one.